Yeah, anyway. Oh yeah, something's worth mentioning is the fact that in terms of Mario Kart Tour itself, about the fact the matter is though, is that one thing that me and Pinkie Pie has totally forgotten to mention about, that is the fact that in addition to Boo Lake is now a thing, but also out of nowhere, we got ourselves the forms of not only the new battle course returning based off from Mario Kart DS, but also is the fact that we actually got ourselves on another track based off from Super Mario Kart returning here, which appears to be body forms of almost 30.
So in this case though, we actually got ourselves 29 as the roll itself, so I think we should be able to get enough space movement so that way we can able to get ourselves a glorious star.
But first off, let's go ahead and buy the golden pipe around here. So I think, relatively speaking, this will be the last time we're going to be seeing the golden pipe in any other shops out there. Because as far as I'm aware, that if we somehow moved on to the final board in Mario Party Superstars until next weekend, then you do realize about the fact that the star pipe will no longer going to be present on certain item stores. Although, we'll talk more details about that until whenever we get to that board, so...
Now it looks like that the next star space is going to be right over there, so I suppose that I believe that Waluigi's probably not going to make it by that point. And it's a good thing that Yoshi did somehow manage to able to pay some coins.
Oh god, if we somehow got 30, and then if we accidentally landed on Bowser, then obviously we will get ourselves screwed over, if the actual catalog saying lose 1 star or something, so, but thankfully that does not seem the case at all, but hey, at least that's good for my part, so.
Anyway though, what are you trying to say from before?
Oh yeah, about the fact the matter is though, is that Donut Plains 3 has now made its appearance in Mario Kart Tour, and let me just say, it's a massive downgrade compared to the forms of how it does it on the much more nicer and gorgeous Mario Kart 8 Deluxe variation, or Mario Kart 8 to be more specifically, just because you know how Mario Kart 8 actually has a lot of unique features, like, you know, gorgeous visuals, as well as the underwater section. Although, to be fair though, we're going backwards a little bit, because obviously if you fell underwater, then obviously you will fall. So in this case though, it's pretty similar to the forms of how it does in the Super Nintendo counterparts, or the Game Boy Advance equivalent as well, thanks to the forms of Super Circuit, so...
Yeah, but except this time around though, is the fact that thank god you don't need to able to do the ridiculous timing requirements to able to hop into another, segment of the entire course itself, so...
But aside from all that stuff though, is the fact that I was not expecting to see Donut Plains 3 returning here, so I think relatively speaking though, that we've pretty much almost done in terms of Super Mario Kart tracks returning from Mario Kart Tour. So in some cases though, I think we've only got about one more Mario Circuit course, which appears to be Mario Circuit 4, and I think we've basically went through all of the Donut Plains courses, and also we've done every single Cocoa Island tracks, and also so applies to, I would say Koopa Beach as well, from Koopa Beach 1 and 2, and also Vanilla Lake, and also Rainbow Road. So the only tracks remaining in terms of, well, Mario Kart Tour when it comes to, well, Super Mario Kart courses is the fact that I think we've only got just only 3 Bowser Castle courses, which despite the fact that one of those courses usually decides to troll in on you, and another one which appears to be, like I said before, Mario Circuit 4. And I think that's about it basically. Oh, wait a second, I forgot about Ghost Valley 3. So in this case though, one of the hardest in terms of Ghost Valley selections of courses, so I honestly forgot about that either.
Because as far as I'm aware, it's usually originally from, you know, a Special Cup or something?
Well, mind you, it's been a very long while since we actually last played Super Mario Kart, because obviously we are still playing, you know what I mean, with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, with all our DLC packs and stuff like that.
Although, unfortunately though, we still need to able to play through, Mario Kart Tour for quite a while, just because about the fact that with all that content and all that stuff,
in addition to that though, is the fact that whenever we did manage able to play online play, because apparently though, that back in the forms within the Battle Tour, that we couldn't able to actually access to online play just because of the forms of that particular notification saying that we can't able to actually access to it unless they need to do a patch. And aside from all that stuff though, it's just the fact that it's a bit weird able to actually have ourselves better late than ever, I suppose, routine in regards to the forms of, you know, actually access to online play. However, when we do finally manage to play online play, not just by the forms of some races themselves, like the usual, but also with the battle mode as well. And if we've played it for a bit, oh my god, what have they done to battle mode in the entire Mario Kart Tour game? I know it's a cool thing, it was a cool thing to brought it back, but I honestly have no idea why. And not to be brutally honest here, I think I should able to apologize for Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U now. Just because, well, despite the fact that you were able to do... excuse me. They were able to obviously try to do, you know, balloon battle, and you only have to do this within the actual race tracks. However, though, I will have to admit it, though, that it controls much more better. But aside from all that stuff, though, and also in addition to that, though, is the fact that, well, as I mentioned this before, they obviously bring back one of those battle courses based off from Mario Kart DS, or technically speaking, though, is the fact that the battle course we are referring to as Twilight House. So Twilight House actually finally makes it brought back ever since Mario Kart Wii. Because that was the last time we actually saw Twilight House since Mario Kart Wii. So yeah, pretty interesting all things considered. Although, the only thing is worth noting for, when it comes to anything else, to be more specific, about the fact that they changed a lot of things in terms of Twilight House in mind. And that's mainly because about the fact that, well, relatively speaking though, they now decided able to include guardrails and stuff like that. So this means you no need for able to fall out in the entire battle course. And I think relatively speaking though, that, well, it's just the fact that it's a simple coincidence about the fact that, well, relatively speaking though, it's just, it's kind of hard to explain. So either way though, that, well, I have to admit it though right away, when it comes to online play itself, when it comes to playing battle mode, and especially noticeable with the single player campaign as well, basically though is the fact that what Pac-Man is trying to say, that battle mode in Mario Kart Tour is the worst of all the actual battle modes in my opinion. I mean, sure, about the fact that, oh dang, there goes all of her coins. Well, half of her coins rather, so 55. God, that seems quite a lot. Yeah, it might seems unfortunate for her, but at the very least though, she will get herself maybe the Battles of Space bonus or something. But either way though, we'll just have to wait and see what happens there. So in this case though, let's head back onto the Handcar Havoc. So let's see if we can able to actually just beat our new record again or something. Well, depending on how well does our AI behaving as far as this is concerned. So anyways though, another thing I would like to explain is the fact that another thing I would like to mention when it comes to Mario Kart Tour, and that is the fact that not only do we get ourselves one variant, but also two other variations of, well, King Boo as a driver. In this case though, we actually got ourselves the gold variation, thanks to the Gold Pass subscription that we've managed able to subscribe to since about a couple of days ago actually. But also we got ourselves the Luigi's Mansion variant of King Boo, thanks to that Spotlight shop. So at least we're very glad that, you know, we can now finally get ourselves the actual drivers we were supposed to be getting through from the previous tours. But of course, back in the day though, is the fact that we have to rely on the gotcha moments and all that stuff though, so... But I digress, but at least it's a little bit of improvement over the likes of that particular previous updates in mind, so... Anyways, let's go ahead and use the golden pipe from now on, because I get the strong sense of feeling that Waluigi might potentially try to steal a star from us, so... Yeah, because look how much coins he's got right now. Like, usually 100 plus or something like this? So anyways though, we'll go ahead and get our star anyway, so we're now on 6 stars, so that's actually quite convenient as far as this is concerned. And good thing that Waluigi just somehow ignores that star space up there, just because about the fact the matter is though that if Waluigi might get that star well, it's hard to explain really, because it's been about quite a few hours since we last touched upon this. I mean, surely we did manage able to play a bit of, you know what I mean, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, as well as Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope, potentially. So, yeah, not much else to discuss upon, so... there goes our star anyway, but that's okay, because we still in first anyway, so...
You got a star.
But I digress. So in this case though, that's fine, especially noticeable about the fact that, well, Waluigi has not got himself his star for quite some time now, so... Yeah, I can totally see why that he wants to get that star so badly, so... But either way, that's as far as saying goes. Oh, really? Well, he got another... What the hell? He got another...
You got a star.
That was very lucky on his part. He got 2 stars in 1 turn. Oh my god. Anyway, Daisy gets a 5. Anyway, let's talk about another topic for this point today, and that is the fact that, well, relatively speaking, oh yeah, and another thing is worth mentioning for is the fact that the only thing that's kind of bothers me for a little bit, although relatively speaking though, is the fact that whenever we do manage to play battle mode and online play, sometimes we get kicked out of the actual online matches and stuff like that, which I honestly have no idea why we do get kicked out of the actual battle mode online matches and stuff, but either way though, it's just not as pleasant to me. Yeah, I know that, especially that you always moan about the fact that how bad battle mode, and also it's kind of awkward too, just because, not only because, you know, about the fact that with all that, controls is kind of sluggish, and also it's the fact that the soundtrack is incredibly limited. So all it does is just basically, for the majority of the battle courses in mind when it comes to music tracks, is the fact that between Battle Course, I would say Battle Course 3 or something like this from the Super Nintendo, well, Super Mario Kart, and also say applies to, oh nice, hole-in-one. Nice to see skills right there. Anyway, that, and also with Cookie Land and Twilight House, they all have exactly the same Super Mario Kart battle theme track, and because of that though, I just wish they'll just bring back the classic tunes from the other games, like, you know, Mario Kart Double Dash, Mario Kart DS, etc, etc. Although my guess is because of the limitations of the handheld phone, but either way though, I just have no idea why they come up with something like this. Yeah, anyway though, let's talk about the evolves of another topic for this point today, and that is the fact that, well, relatively speaking though, today's day is of course the 23rd of October today, in this case in 2022 today, and thankfully the actual, the process of this uploading schedule is going much more smoother this time, so... Oh, here's another item minigame we can experience! Oh yeah, this minigame seems familiar. It's based off from Mario Party 3, called Bobbing Balloons. So, oh yeah, I do apologize for that commentary is a little bit still to the points, just because my tongue is actually twisting, so... What is up with you, getting tongue twisted all of a sudden? Well, I was going to say something, Pinkie Pie, but of course about the fact the matter is though is the fact that when I'm speaking way too fast, as a result that, oh wait a minute, Waluigi's going to steal another star, isn't he? Although thankfully he landed on the versus space though, and also he wasted 20 coins, so that should be alright I guess. Although, relatively speaking though, it's just the fact that, well, we just get a horrible feeling about the fact that we might go lose another star thanks to Waluigi's stealing department, so... And the next star space is now over here. So, anywho, yeah, let's talk about the evolves of another topic for today, and that is the fact that, well, speaking of which, in regards to the evolves of, anything else we'd like to discuss upon, that is the fact that, yeah, unfortunately though, certain Marvel stuff has been officially delayed, during in certain days later, and in some cases a year later. So, for instance, for example, certain films have been listed that has been delayed, like, for instance, for example, there was, Blade, and, oh, really? Flash forward again. We might as well lose this instantly just because the AI is really dang good at it this time.
Yeah, anyway, in terms of films they've been delayed are Blade, alongside with this new Deadpool movie,
and also Fantastic Four and the untitled Marvel movie, and on top of all that stuff though, Avengers Secret Wars. So in this case though, Blade was previously good. Oh wait a second, it's been delayed, isn't it? So previously it was gonna say that Blade was supposed to be releasing next year, but it's been pushed back until 2024 in the 6th of September.
Oh, that's a bit of a nuisance anyway.
And in terms of the new Deadpool movie, specifically Deadpool 3, basically though, that film has also been delayed because it was previously going to be scheduled until sometime in 2024 in the 6th of September, but now it's been pushed back until the 8th of November, so...
Yeah, it's a bit of a nuisance anyway though, but either way though, we're just gonna have to wait for a while, so...
And also, same applies to Fantastic Four, because it was previously going to be releasing until the November the 8th, 2024, but of course now, Deadpool 3 is going to be now taking over with that date. So in this case though, it's the fact that all we get right now is just, well, 2025 release for, you know, Fantastic Four. So in this case though, that's a little bit... kind of upsetting, but regardless of everything else though...
Well, good thing that we did manage to stop Waluigi, because obviously, if Waluigi was in 3rd or 2nd, then obviously our star will be taken. So, good job, Yoshi and Daisy, for able to stop Waluigi to be on, well, 3rd or 2nd. So, kudos to you two.
So anyways though, and also with that untitled Marvel movie, it was expecting to be previously going to say that it was supposed to release until also in 2025, specifically early 2025 in February 14th, but now it's been pushed back until at the very end of 2025 for November the 7th, so...
Yeah, it's a bit crazy though.
And finally, in terms of the forms of... Oh yeah, there's actually another ones here now too. Like, for example, I'll get some more details on that in a second, because as you can see, there's also the 3rd shop, as you can see, but however though, that 3rd shop right there, as we went to right now, acts out a lot differently compared to the other shops. That, remember about the fact that it does give you some plentiful of items you can buy, in terms of the forms of, you know, certain mushrooms, or anything else to be more specific?
Well, it turns out that about the fact the matter is though, is the fact that you can able to actually discover 4 items, which 2 of them are actually very rare.
Like, for example, there are Plunger Chest alongside with a Hidden Block card, which, speaking of a Hidden Block card, it behaves pretty much exactly like the forms of how it does on Super Mario Party, basically, so...
Then you can able to actually use that at any point, so...
Like, you can either get coins or a star if you're lucky, so...
Anyways though, so let's see what Waluigi's gonna do here, and he's gonna use his jump call, which is pretty obvious because we technically almost near to it, so...
Okay, fair point, fair point. So it looks like the star space is now moved slightly to the right, so... I guess that's pretty insufficiency right here.
So anyways, in terms of Avengers Secret Wars though, it was expecting to be releasing until... let's just say during the forms of in, well, I don't know about you, but either way though, I just need to do this ridiculous button mashing. How much coins? Okay, 8. We'll take 8 as a loss anyway, so who cares?
And thus we already got our, you know, Hidden Block card, so we don't need to worry about... Oh god, he's going for another golden pipe, isn't he?
Yep, I would have thought so.
So anyways though, the next film that's gonna be delayed is Avengers Secret Wars, as far as what Pinkie Pie has already mentioned about. And about the fact the matter is though, it was previously gonna be releasing until also in 2025, in 7th of November, but of course the new untitled Marvel movie is now taking over with that date, so it's now pushed back until the 1st of May, 2026.
Jesus Louise, man!
Yeah, no wonder why it's gonna take so long to able to release those specific stuff in mind, so... Anyway, so here we have the new minigame we can play, and this what appears to be, Mecha Marathon. I'm alright with this though, but it's just the fact that all you really have to do in this minigame is the fact that you have to mash A and B at the same time in order to wind up with your Mecha Fly guys, and then if you mash those buttons well enough, then basically that, well, whoever goes the furthest distance is definitely the winner, so...
Yeah, sometimes though this minigame is a bit too much on my liking, but I have to do a button mashing skills anyway, so... Best of luck on my front!
Although relatively speaking though, is the fact that unlike in the top 100 version of this minigame, that the only limited, centimeters you can only get up to, it was, I would say, 40 centimeters is the maximum distance you can go into from the top 100 version. And as far as I'm aware, or 40 meters I should say, but in this version right here, I think the limited meters you can get up to this time, it was actually 70, so... Because I did somehow manage to found out, because one of those leaderboards in that minigame did manage to point things out.
Winner.
So in some cases though, we've almost got a new record, but honestly, button mashing with the Switch controller is so magnificently amazing, so...
And of course, as you probably already know, for the majority of this month, that yeah, we have got another N64 game onto the Nintendo Switch Online membership services recently for its expansion pack. That is of course Pilot Wings 64. And as far as what I've heard, that it actually runs a lot better than the forms of how it does it on the original hardware. But either way though, that's usually saying much. And I suppose we only got 2 more N64 games left in terms of the expansion pack. In terms of, the actual Switch Online membership services alike. That is the fact that with both Mario Party 1 and Mario Party 2 are both up next. So I get the strong feeling that next month we will get Mario Party 1, and until December we will definitely get Mario Party 2. So...
yeah, that basically summarized the forms of the rest of the N64 games lineup for 2022 for the Nintendo Switch Online NSR expansion pack. So,
yeah, because obviously though, we're still waiting for Mario Party 3, so in this case though, that will be pretty much does it for the N64 trilogy of Mario Party games.
Speaking of Mario Party 2 though, here's the final item minigame right here, and that's what appears to be Hammer Slammer, based off of Mario Party 2.
And this is obviously taking place originally as in Spaceland environments, but of course, as you can tell, the space wallpaper is now gone. So in this case though, kind of unfortunate, but it doesn't bother me too much about it though, because obviously you can have to able to build up with your hammer power, and then you're able to just release, to let go of your power, and it's hard to explain because it's been a very long time since I actually just managed able to play Hammer Slammer on not only on this version right here, but also in the original counterpart in Mario Party 2.
Yeah, I thought to myself at this point, so...
Alright, so Daisy got an 8, 3, and 3 makes 14. So, kind of an average number that she obviously obtained, but nowhere near as the greatest roll ever, unlike us, that we've almost got 30 spaces. Like, seriously, that's insane.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Alright, so now let's go ahead and move on to the next 1 vs 3 minigame, which we already played as before. That is Tackle Takedown. So I wonder if we can able to win this somehow.
And sure enough, we did win.
Yep, by simply letting the other 3 players manage able to split up even a bit further away from us, and then obviously we will take a victory from here. So, nicely done.
Anyway, so the final film in terms of certain Marvel film has been officially been delayed, and that is the Untitled Marvel Movie 2.
Although it could be potentially be more like, I don't know what you call it per se though, just because it's been a very long time since we've actually last watched something related to Marvel stuff.
Although, mind you, the sequel to Black Panther should be on its way now, so
at least time will tell. We can able to wait until that film finally comes out on a big screen, during the cinemas or theaters. So, Anyways, for that particular Untitled Marvel Movie 2, which we don't know exactly what's it gonna be, that, it's gonna be you know, the scheduled date is now being removed, so in this case though, from now on, that it was supposedly able to previously try to release until 2026, but thanks to, Avengers Secret Wars is now taking over for that date, so,
Yeah, that's saying something, especially it just takes some bit of time to, get all these films being released during that time, so, you know.
Alright, so let's see what we get. 3, 9, and that makes 12, so... Oh, wait a second, are we gonna land on that?
Oh, I think it'll be all good. So, in this case, let's go ahead and steal a star from... You know, let's go for, Waluigi, just because, well... He's almost good at catching up, so in this case though, is the fact that we'll take his star back from us. So that way we'll get 6 stars again. So...
That should be all swell, huh? So anyway, another thing I would like to mention about something related to other stuff worth noting for is the fact that, we got ourselves the age rating thing for the sake of the Super Mario Bros. Movie. Well, usually the Super Mario Bros. Movie, I should say. That basically though, well first of all, the release date for the film, in terms of North America, it still usually says April the 7th. And as far as I'm aware, whenever we double check on the UK version of that release date, it's going to be releasing until March 31st. So it's going to be about a week earlier than the Americans release. So it's very similar to, you know, Sonic the Hedgehog 2 release date from the cinemas in mind. So...
Yeah, it feels like a similar treatment for the sake of time. If for those of you who really desperately want to see that film in mind,
then it might be seems a little bit more obvious, doesn't it? So... Alright, hide and sneak. We haven't played that minigame for a while, haven't we?
yeah, especially noticeable because, well, relatively speaking though, that, well, we just got, distracted by other selections of minigames. Some are new, some we've already played, and all that stuff, so...
Alright, so let's see what Waluigi's gonna press, and... Oh. Somehow we hide it onto that particular bush. That's all fine and dandy and everything. I mean, surely nothing can go wrong for the sake of convenience. And it looks like he chooses the bush, and, well, we hide in a rock.
Well, mind you, that my sister Maud managed to able to love rocks.
Oh yeah, because she obviously so obsessed with rocks, isn't she? That you did tell me about her.
Yes I do, because either way though, well, at least I somehow missed my sister Maud, so... Speaking of rocks, how dare you, Waluigi?
Well, thankfully though, we somehow still win, because we somehow got separated into those cardboard inserts. So in this case, we, hide in a stump, so... That's all pretty swell.
And I think, relatively speaking, that we've almost done with Woody Woods itself, actually. So it's just that, well, what turn are we in?
Turn 24.
Oh, it doesn't take that long. Although, mind you, there might be still some slow portions here and there.
But apart from those side of things, though, it might not be too slow or anything. So. Anyway though, and also as you can see that we see that Monty Mall over there, well it behaves pretty much exactly like the forms of it does in the original version, where basically you have to pay coins in order able to change those specific, all of these arrow signs at any point. So, hard to explain really, because again, it's been a very long time since I actually experienced Woody Woods. In fact, I actually play this board the least. Out of all the actual boards, and not only in Mario Party 3, but also in Mario Party Superstars as well. So because of that though,
yeah, we feel might be a bit biased when it comes to experiencing those boards like this.
But either way though, aside from all that stuff though, I think that's as far as I can try to explain about this, so...
And now the next door space is right next to the Skeleton Key Gate, and who's gonna make it there first, I wonder?
Well, it could be a tough race to able to make your way from here. So I get the feeling that Waluigi might potentially try to able to get stuck, or maybe that he will just, well, it's hard to explain really, so...
Meanwhile, Daisy also lands on the event space too, so...
In fact, relatively speaking though, it's just the fact that, well, much like, you know, Yoshi's Tropical Island. There are a few times though that the game will automatically goes like magnetically attracted to event spaces sometimes.
Especially noticeable if the eventful space or the eventful bonus comes into play in the actual bonus stars department, then who knows, we're able to actually witness kind of stuff like this.
Alright, so we're going back into Bill Blasters again, but I highly doubt that we will still lose this just because of that specific change compared to the original version, so...
Again, it takes a bit of time to get used to, but we'll just see what happens there.
So, anyway, for the Super Mario Bros. Movie got its rating system when it comes to the age restrictions, and that is, once again, PG. So in this case though, what is up with any other films always attempt able to put up with PG rating every nowadays? I know it seems a bit more family friendly this time around though, as opposed to you, but as far as I'm aware, that the last time we actually received a U-rated film, it was since, I would say the Minions, The Rise of Goo, or something like that. So in this case though, despite we have not seen that film, just because we weren't really interested with the Minions to begin with, in my honest opinion.
Oh, dang it!
We were so close to able to get in first place on that minigame, but thanks to that specific missed shot from that specific angle, then Yoshi just somehow takes the victor, so...
Oh, for the love of Celestia.
Anyway though, so we're now on turn number 25, so we're almost there guys, until we move on to, you know, not only the final board, but also one of our favorite boards, in terms of Mario Party Superstars, so...
Which just seems very obvious about the fact that a lot of people seemed able to have, well, a lot of fun playing the final board more than this one, so...
Well, we'll see what happens there until whenever we get to next weekend, like we said before, so... So it looks like Yoshi once again purchased the golden pipe as per usual.
Well, it seems very obvious because about the fact that they really want to catch up, aren't they?
Although mind you about the fact that they don't have enough coins to able to actually buy the star or something. So speaking of which, we'll go for a triple dice block just in case Alpha Sightseer star will come into play. Which, you know, as we said before, the Sightseer star is basically the game's equivalent to Running Star between both Mario Party 7 and Mario Party 8. And possibly, excuse me, and possibly Mario Party DS as well. Or maybe Far Star from the likes of both 9 and 10, because mind you, in Island Tour does not contain any bonus stars at all, so...
I guess that's pretty insufficiency right there, so...
Alright, so it looks like Waluigi will receive 2 items for that item bag, because he's already got one of those items, so... In some cases we get a Super Warp block, and also the Skeleton Key.
So yeah, about with the forms of how the fact that, well, I know for the fact that in Sonic the Hedgehog 1 and Sonic the Hedgehog 2 movie counterparts, that both of those films are also PG rated.
And also, do you know what else is also PG rated film? Is the Powerpuff Girls movie, and also My Little Pony the movie as well, so...
Yeah, no wonder why that's actually getting a lot of PG ratings these days now.
Although we're not exactly sure if we actually heard about anything from the UK's BBFC ratings system yet, but as far as I can tell, it could be either BU or PG rating, so it's hard to tell really, but we'll just see what happens there. Oh, we're almost there to the star. Oh, wait a minute, Yoshi's gonna use he's gonna use his Trump call until the next turn.
Yeah, I figured this much.
Alright, so the next minigame we are going to is Archer Rival, so...
Yep, we'll just have to dodge the darts, so...
Although we could probably try to able to win, but the thing is though, if Yoshi was able to use the golden pipe, then he obviously gonna take a star from us, so...
So in some cases though, we somehow got out by complete accident, so...
Oh well, no big deal. So in this case though, it looks like that Daisy just keeps on missing her shots.
Oh, jeez.
And somehow we win anyway.
Winners!
Yeah, because imagine this, right? That if Yoshi ever uses the golden pipe, then he's probably gonna get the star now because he's got enough coins to get to the star.
I guess that probably explains it, huh? So we're now on the last 5 turns, so yeah, we're getting very close right there. So we're in first, Yoshi's in second, and Waluigi's in third, and Daisy's in fourth. So who's gonna predict the winner when it comes to one of those NPCs, such as Woody right here? So in this case, he's begging Daisy might win this, and she receives only triple dice items. So that seems average, I guess.
Oh yeah, sometimes though it's the fact that sometimes that either the Woody or Monty Mole might come into play when it comes to the forms of, you know what I'm saying about the fact that with all this predicting who's gonna be the winner scenario.
Yeah, I totally get what you mean right there, Pinkie Pie, especially because, well, yeah, it might be seems a bit random at points, so... Anyways, let's go and talk about the forms of another topic for this point today, and that is the fact that, well, in addition to when Sonic Frontiers is getting its soundtrack CD in Japanese audience, or in Japan rather,
and as far as digital versions of the soundtrack will be in the English countries between America and the UK.
But also, as far as I found out, that the data disc is also getting its treatment when it comes to Sonic Frontiers as well. Like, for instance, Sonic Frontiers 2LP and 4LP vinyl soundtrack is going to exist. So,
yeah, it seems very obsolete. Or in some cases, though, I think that particular special vinyl is also getting its December release as well.
So, relatively speaking though, that the soundtrack and the vinyl soundtrack is going to exist until December time, so...
Yeah, that seems very cool.
Especially noticeable about the fact that, well, we definitely heard about the vinyl, but unfortunately though, we haven't received our, you know, the actual, the sound jukebox thing, whatever you want to call it. Even then though, it's hard to explain what that is though, but either way though, that's as far as saying goes. Anyways, let's talk about the forms of another thing we'd like to mention, and that is the fact that, well, consecutively speaking, that one of those actors in particular, called Jennifer Hill, she's been confirmed that she will be the voice actor of Bayonetta in Bayonetta 3. So, yeah, that seems out of nowhere in terms of context here and there.
But regardless of such though, that might be seems a little bit more interesting to say the least, but either way though, that's far as saying much.
So it looks like now that the star space is almost right near to where Waluigi was. Well, I can assure you for this point, well, we haven't exactly paid attention to it at all, just because we so much got more distracted by the forms of some news, updates, or anything else to be more specific. But either way though,
let's move on to the next minigame, shall we?
So in this case, we are now moving on to Tipsy Turny. So in this case though, we are... Oh wait, this is actually a new minigame. So in this case though, all we have to do in this minigame here is the fact that we need to use the shell to able to actually uncover those panels, and then that way, if you like tilt the actual the picture image, and then basically the more you do it, then the more cover areas you can able to fill up from. And this is obviously based off of Mario Party 1, because obviously with the background and also the music, and on top of all that stuff though, I believe you're able to come across into different item symbols based off from if you manage to able to replay the minigame. You can either discover the mushroom, the flower, or the star. So in this case though, it's all depending on the random situations with all that picture imagery. So unlike in the original version, all it gets is just basically it's just a coin symbol. And then in Mario Party 2, you get yourselves a pretty cool imagery of Toad with all that little, you know, some video effects or something like that. Although, then again, it's been a very long while since we actually last played Mario Party 2. Just because, well, we keep on playing online matches in any forms of this game as well. But honestly, I found online match to be far more fun than new forms of how it does it on Mario Kart Tour in my opinion. Just because, well, again, as I said, battle mode is very awkward in Tour, just because of not only jarring controls, but also it's very slow too. And on top of all that stuff though, there's no way you can able to actually like you can able to actually win in that particular mode sometimes just because of all that complications. So, anyway, let's talk about the... Oh, wait a second. We have to do a duel minigame against with Yoshi. So in this case, let's go and bet on... if I have to be... okay, it's still the 18 coins, because he only got, like, 18 coins maximum, so...
And it's a good thing we did manage to brought the golden pipe to begin with, so let's see what minigame are we going to be doing with next. So in this case, we have a new one here, Motor Router.
And this is based off from Mario Party 3, where basically we need to able to go for these dash panels while simply dodge those amps, because if you touch those amps, you slow down. So in this case though, unfortunately though, it has the same issue as we have from the original version of this minigame, because you have no full control of your character. So in this case, you can only move one thing at a time when it comes to like, you know, certain sides of the actual the minigame itself like this. So...
bit of a nuisance anyway though, but at least we're definitely gonna have to try our best if we somehow manage able to pull this off, potentially, so...
Anyway though, let's talk about another thing we'd like to discuss, is the fact that, as you can tell, or as far as I'm aware, that basically though, is the fact that we actually discovered... Oh! I think we'll somehow win this, because obviously Yoshi got stunned, so in this case, he lost speed, so... Oh wait, that was actually pretty close. Although, relatively speaking though, that we somehow finally managed to receive even more coins from its dual minigames, so huzzah. So anyways, in terms of the Super Smash Bros. Lineup of amiibos, as far as I'm aware, basically though, we actually get ourselves our close-up look at when it comes to the forms of both amiibos are definitely coming. Possibly, maybe next year, in 2023. So in this case we have both Sephiroth and Kaiyosa from the likes of not only from, well, Sephiroth from Final Fantasy VII, the most iconic villain of all time, but also Kaiyosa from the Tekken series. And as far as I'm aware, they look very, very cool looking, especially Sephiroth's case. So in this case though is the fact that, well, despite the fact that we have not seen 2 or 3 matter of those amiibos left, like Pyra and Mythra from Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and on top of all that stuff though, we still have not seen Sora, but hopefully by that time until next year, Pinkie Pie, then we will definitely see some of these remaining amiibos in action, so...
I guess that seems true in certain scenarios, but hey.
Another 4-player minigame, and let's see what minigame are we playing next. So in this case though, is the fact that, well, relatively speaking, we got ourselves another minigame, which is Trapeze Artist, and this is based off of Mario Party 6. So in this case though, is the fact that you have to do a bit of a timing window, and because of this though, you have to capture as many Goombas as you can in that particular one in particular cage drop. However though, unlike in the freeze frame in Mario Party 6, there was a slight bit of a delay if you somehow managed able to let go of the rope and then trying to capture certain Goombas in the cage.
So it's so hard to tell with the actual AI pattern with all their Goomba formations as far as I'm aware.
But I'm pretty sure that we somehow managed to get a golden Goomba, so that's one plus thing, so... And somehow we tied for first with Yoshi, apparently, so...
Okay, that's quite random, but hey, at least we still take a victory right here.
So anyway though, yeah, speaking of which though, is the fact that one thing I should probably able to actually mention about this right from the start though, is the fact that we somehow managed able to receive not only 1, but 3 games based off from Pikmin series, because as far as I'm aware, the reason why we have to say things like this is because, well, relatively speaking though, that obviously Pikmin 4 is now a thing on the Nintendo Switch, so that means we can finally manage able to get ourselves a Pikmin series a second chance. Specifically, Pikmin 1, 2 on the Wii. Well, mind you, because I skipped the GameCube version because I somehow heard about the fact that the controls might be a bit overly too cumbersome to play if you ever play the GameCube version, or somebody might actually feel a little bit biased when it comes to what specific version you guys prefer playing.
And on top of all that stuff though, is the fact that, well, relatively speaking now, that we kind of prefer the aiming accuracy with all that, you know, tossing stuff, especially noticeable if you ever played you know, the Metroid Prime trilogy on the Wii.
Basically though, that'll be super recommendable if you're having a hard time with the dual analog sticks and stuff like that, or dual control sticks, all things considered. So, well mind you, in Pikmin 1 and 2, on the GameCube version, that the C-stick, all it does is basically just follows the Pikmin around, or anything else like that, rather than the forms of, well, aiming with the cursor, so you're gonna have to able to utilize the control stick for not only moving your character, either Olimar, Louie, or the captain in Pikmin 2, but also is the fact that you have to move the cursor as well, so it feels a bit very awkward-ish, I guess. So, it's just we might be biased, I guess, and thus, to me though, the widescreen feature with Pikmin 1 and 2 on the Wii feels a lot more nicer than the forms of how it does on the 4.3 aspect ratio in my opinion, just because you can see the whole surroundings.
And on top of all that stuff though, it's just the fact that, well, it's so nice to see certain stuff has been going on, so, you know.
Oh yeah, and also another thing I would like to say for this point, Pinkie Pie, is the fact that, did you know that The Jungle Book, specifically released in 1967...
Oh yeah, I've heard about that. Why?
Well, apparently, that film has been out for 55 years ago, since in 1967.
Seriously?
And it's also a fun fact for you, that was actually the final Walt Disney feature-length film before his death. So, in some cases though, it's hard to explain about this, just because I don't want to make things a bit messed up with this detail, but either way though, that's a bit of a fun fact if you aren't usually, thinking about something, aren't you?
Well, I don't know about you, but that's saying something, so...
Anyway, so we have ourselves a new minigame right here, as you can see, and that is Cheep Cheep Chase from Mario Party 3, so... I have no idea why they bring this back. Although, thankfully though, is the fact that it's actually a bit funner this time, I will have to admit it though right away, is the fact that, well, first off, is the fact that, well, as you can see on this instruction screen, basically though, is the fact that rather than just utilizing the Z button in order to able to dive, instead, well, you still need to able to mash the A button in order to able to swim as fast as you humanly possible.
But also, as you can tell, we have to use the control stick downwards, or tilt the control stick down, until you're able to actually dive in this time. So it's a little bit of improvement over the likes of the original counterpart sometimes, just because you have to do ridiculous button mashing. At the same time, you have to press a different button in order to able to avoid certain mine bombs, and especially noticeable with just anything else. So
yeah, at least that's a little bit of appreciation about the fact that they at least managed to fix something. But I will say, looking back on this minigame right now, I almost first thought that originally it was supposedly my least favorite minigame in the entire Mario Party 3 game. But it turns out my least favorite minigame in Mario Party 3 now is NPIQ. Just because I have no idea why that minigame exists anyway. And especially noticeable, it's almost like a quiz type of minigame. And also it makes the minigame honestly drag on at points, which is very unacceptable in my opinion though, but that's mainly because about the fact that, well, you have to be so strategic when it comes to like knowing every single aspect from Mario Party 3, and it's just so weird, you know?
yeah, I totally get the feeling what you're trying to say for this point, Pac-Man, but either way though, that's saying something.
So, anywho, let's talk about the forms of another topic for this point today. It's the fact that, well, do you even remember about the fact that in SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated?
Oh yeah, about that, why?
Well, about the fact that, do you remember about the fact that we received the actual Fun Edition for the sake of the forms of that game? That it does have some cool collectible items here and there when it comes to figurines and all that stuff. Well, apparently, SpongeBob SquarePants The Cosmic Shake is also getting its exact same treatment as the forms of the Fun Edition from the SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated. So in some cases though, yeah, we're actually getting ourselves the BFF edition of the Cosmic Shake. So obviously you're able to get yourselves the game itself, obviously, but also, well, depending on what version you'll be getting, it could either be the Switch, Xbox One, PC, or PlayStation 4. Well, mind you, we'll get the PlayStation 4 version once that game comes out until next year in 2023.
So, relatively speaking though, because obviously we still managed to get ourselves Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated on the PlayStation 4, so because we still used it with that particular controls ever since on the PlayStation 2 version of the original game. So, you know.
But I digress though. And also Wool comes with a set of 4 placemats, I'm presuming so anyway. And also they receive BFF armlet with necklace onto it, so that's interesting. And also it actually receives inflatable Patrick balloon, which actually measures out within 50 centimeters or 19.7 inches or something like that. And also they will receive the statue, which actually features this very cool figure or statue of Sweet Victory kind of outfit for SpongeBob. In this case, Cosmic Victory statue, which in heights wise, it was about 25 centimeters. So yeah, it seems very interesting with that particular statue in mind. And of course you're able to get the actual giant box itself. Oh, and finally you're able to receive a set of 4 costume miniature bouncing balls. So in some cases though you see the Knight SpongeBob outfit alongside with the Karate Chops outfit, as well as the Wild Western Cowboy outfit and the Pirate outfit for SpongeBob. So, and obviously that particular game is going to be still scheduled to be released until 2023. So relatively speaking though, 2023 is going to be quite of a good year. Well, I'm not gonna lie by saying that. Well, it's sort of hard to tell, honestly, when it comes to likely hearing certain stuff like that. But either way though, we'll just have to wait and see what happens during it some form or another, so. Also, I will say, I really like the homestretch theme of Woody Woods, even though it's a little bit too high for my taste. But regardless of such though, it's just the fact that that's how usually the fact that in certain Final 5 turn events or something like that, always just somehow managed able to bring up with like high-pitched songs or something, so. But I digress. So yeah, that's all I can say about this for the sake of that particular collector's items, I guess. Oh yeah, let's talk about the films of the final topic for this point today, and that is something to do with My Little Pony World. In this case, it's about to be released on the iPhone smartphone devices or something, so. Now, I believe that I think Protoman has already mentioned about this technically, ever since in Metroid 2, Return of Samus, so in some cases there is the fact that, well, relatively speaking though, there's not much else we can honestly try to discuss upon something. So in this case though, yeah, it looks like we're about to be able to end things off with Woody Woods with Piranha's Pursuit, which I've honestly have no idea why this minigame is actually getting its brought back anyway, but we'll just have to be able to cope with this anyway, so. Yeah, and this minigame right here is the fact that in a team of 1, he's able to run away from the Petey Piranha as opposed to the Piranha Plant in the original version. So it's very similar to the forms of how it does it on the top 100 version, where basically though you're able to run away from that Petey Piranha monster instead of, you know, the actual Piranha Plant, so. And also because that's the correct theme music this time around though, so it's basically like the remixed version of you know, the Super Mario Bros. 3 theme, which is actually, supposedly enough, that it's based off from World 8 world map in Super Mario Bros. 3. So, you know, you get the idea about that. So, and of course, if you hang on to those vines right there, then obviously you would avoid a lot of those obstacles here and there. So, yeah, basically what you do in this minigame is quite obvious. You have to run away from the Piranha Plant. However, though, if you're in a team of 3, you need to be able to cast a rain onto Petey Piranha, so that way it's able to actually speed things up a little bit. Well, honestly, it does have a lot of disadvantages around here, especially how to cope with the AI and all that stuff. But regardless of such though, it's just the fact that I think, personally speaking, the team of 1, it should be a lot easier to manage, in my honest opinion, so. And on top of all that stuff though, is the fact that, well, relatively speaking though, that, well, honestly, it just feels a little bit unbalanced sometimes, especially because, well, you never know of what your team is going to be good at it, though. Well, other times, though, that we actually doing pretty bad when it comes to, well, you know what I mean, so. And speaking of which, though, out of nowhere, that the evil version of Woody did somehow manage to show up right behind us. Although I'm guessing the reason why he was there, because, well, he's gonna summon the bad fruit at one of those players. So, in some cases though, we somehow managed to win overall when it comes to Woody Woods, so...
Which I will say is actually quite close game at the end.
Well, mind you about the fact that Yoshi almost tried to catch up to us, but either way though, we somehow managed able to get ourselves our nice little victory in the end, so we win 4 boards so far in terms of Mario Party Superstars, so
yeah, only 1 more board left, so in this case though, that we pretty much almost done with the party boards themselves before we move on to the extra stuff, or in some cases the extra modes, so
yeah. That's basically all there is to it though, honestly. So, yeah, in the end though, as I said before, that the Woody Woods board is not a bad board per se, but it's just the fact that it's definitely one of my least favorite, boards throughout the entire game, just because it's a bit average at best. And on top of all that stuff though, it's just, well, we don't usually play this board as much, just because, you know, there's gonna be a lot of, random luck factor to it though sometimes, but...
aside from all that stuff though, I think that's as far as we can talk about for this board. So in this case though, it's the fact that, well,
at the very least though, we're still very glad that, you know, Game Guy spaces are no longer present. And also another thing I would like to mention something like this is the fact that between the previous versions of certain boards do have their different amounts of spaces, which I think we'll probably discuss more details onto that though, if we move on to the final board in Mario Party Superstars, which is of course Horrorland, so...
yeah, you keep thinking about the forms of that particular thing itself, aren't you? So...
but either way though, that's as far as saying much. So in this case though, let's put all of our coins in and stars converted into coins. You know, it's kind of like the similar thing as in the forms of Mario Party 2. So with that being said, we'll go ahead and end things off at this point right here. So join us next weekend for more Let's Play of Mario Party Superstars.
It's the fact that we are moving on to the final board in Mario Party Superstars.
That's what appears to be spooky Halloween themed. So in this case, Horrorland is up next. So we'll see you guys until next weekend.
Later, fellas.
See you guys then.